Let me see. Good to hear. Let's hope your execution matches your enthusiasm. I've got a job for you if you're looking to keep busy. Here are the details.
Greetings and welcome to another episode of Soul Talk, where we talk to our citizens and members of the community. I'm your host, Fastcart, also known as FC, also known as, well, there's a whole bunch of names I have. I'm not going to go through that at the moment. How's everybody doing in chat? I see New Soul, I see Scavenger, I see Uri the Smoke, I see Griffin, I see CC Creator and Durham and Pop. How y'all doing today? Culture Prime, hey. So yeah, today's February 16th, and you know they were late getting the ISC out, but they got it out on time. I was able to go through it just a bit before the show, but we'll get to that in a bit. If you want to join us to talk about Star Citizen, click the link below. I'll put the link in chat in a bit, or have Griffin do it for me. So come on in and talk Star Citizen with us. I just want to say greetings and happy Black History Month again. This is our third week, the second week? Yeah, well, going on third week. And I want to say, happy Super Bowl if you're a Kansas City fan. Yeah, I didn't get the chance to see the highlights yet or the commercials. I'll go through that later. Or happy post-karma if you have a significant other or others if that's how you roll. Oh yeah, we have before I forget. We have new channel points for you to spend on, and I'm just letting you know, don't waste your points on joke ban, because especially on Thursday, all I do is joke. So if you want to spend those points on me trying to ban me for making jokes during Soul Talk, I'm gonna say I'm not gonna make jokes during ISC or the machinima. That's what I'm gonna do. So if you want to spend your points on other ones, go ahead and spend those, because I know quite a few people besides me have accumulated quite a few. I want to congratulate the Yacht Club on reaching 200 episodes, and thanks to Maiden Ariana for putting me on their highlight video, not once, but twice. So thank y'all, and congrats. Y'all remember how cold it was like 3 weeks ago? And it was mid-60 today here in Boston. And I'm regretting buying the space heater that I panic bought last time. Yeah, Steve. Yeah. Like I said, I'm gonna use it. I'm no joke on ISC. When you watch the video, no joke for me. That's what's gonna happen. So go ahead and spend those if you want them. 64 degrees here in Medford. Yeah, it was mid-60s in Boston. I almost feel like 70. Matter of fact, almost near 80s in my apartment, but I don't want to open the window. But, you know, it seemed like maybe the space heater that I bought is doing its job, because it's keeping the cold away in its own way. Murphy's Law and all. Oh, my new Samsung arrived. I'm not going to tell you the front that it had my information on it, but yeah. So I got a new Samsung, and so far it hasn't exploded, so that's a good sign. Uh, but I've been bad this week. I've been reading, I've been watching anime, and playing my mobile game, and it's bad because I have to finish my next Slice of Rhythm by tomorrow. So it's going to be a long night for me, but I'll get it done. So yeah, Slice of Rhythm tomorrow night on TPR, People Radio on Twitch.tv, 2100 UTC. And that's about it. Well, I'm going to do my thing, then I'm going to drag people down and talk to our citizen with y'all. Okay, so here we go. I turned my instrument upon you on the planet, but could neither see you nor hear you. You were shrouded from me like the banjos that have infiltrated the installation. Perhaps someone has found a way to hide what does not wish me to see. I'm sorry. Perhaps someone has found a way to hide that which he does not want me to see. Be warned, I shall uphold my sacred oath to protect the Fair Chance Act as the gatekeeper. If your return threatens their safety, my jump point will remain shut, and you will be left to perish on the cold ways. Keeping the bridge open will release the full power of the jump point and destroy the planet with you on it. I don't think anyone's going to get that, but hope maybe someone will. When you find out what it is, you're going to say, oh yeah! And drag people down so they can get it. So, I mean, it's keeping with the theme, you know the last two I've done. Can anyone guess what I was reading from? And we'll draw my spit face, Jade, and Poppin' face.
The only thing I thought of at first when you said gatekeeper was Ghostbusters, but I know that's nowhere near Ghostbusters. So
nah, it's within 10 years, within the past decade. Mm-hmm. No, that's not true. It's 12 years. 12 years.
Is it from the Elden Ring?
Nope, it's from maybe.
Okay.
What did I do last week?
Okay.
Or the week before?
Yeah, it was. Well, what's it last week? I can't remember what it was. It was some superhero thing.
Yeah, it's superhero thing. So this is not a superhero one.
Oh, okay. All right, that's a good clue.
All right, so I Spartan got it. Thor, 2011, he got it. Yeah, that was Heimdall. Congrats, guys. Spartan. Someone figured it out.
I was going to say Big Mama's Bowl of Chitlins, but no problem. Part 2. That's what I thought you was reading from. But okay. Yes, exactly. That's it. There you go.
All right, so I'm glad someone got it. So someone is feeling what I put down on here, so that's cool. So thank you for that, IS Button, for figuring that out.
So tell Io what he won. Tell him what he won.
He won a free joke ban for 10 minutes during ISC. And thank you for the.
Dude, you already. Wait a minute, hold on. You already committed to that before, and you can't like give out the same prize to. How do you do that?
It's my show. I can do what I want.
Oh wow! Ooh, look at
that. Somebody's on a power trip here.
Oh,
okay.
Ultimate power. Hey, Uriah Smoke. How are you doing today?
I'm all right.
What's up, Uriah?
What's that?
He already banned me once. All right, so let's get started with today's show. I'm gonna put up the sneak peek, and I didn't put the whole thing on there, but it says hold on to your seat. What the rest of it say? Oh yeah, hold on to your seat. One lucky ship is set to receive a brand new variant in Alpha 318. Can you guess which one? Follow Robert Space Industry on Twitter to find out more. And that is the picture. And I didn't know what that was. We all know what it is now. Yeah, we already know what it is now, but could anyone guess what that was from the picture beforehand?
It looked like the lights on top of the medical Pisces. So I thought it might have been some kind of a medical variant, but there's a roof above it, so that didn't make any sense. I didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't know. It's not a ship that I own, so I had no clue.
Oh, I still don't know what this is. What
you still don't know what this is? Well, luckily for you, this week, Rob Space Industry did something different with their sneak peek this week. Instead of just putting it in the newsletter, they also put it on Twitter. So they said, hold on to see, unlikely ship will receive a new variant. Can you guess which one based on the sneak peek below? And this is Alpha 318 hashtag lasting legacy. And I don't know if anyone guessed it in Twitter, but as you see, the answer will be. All right, we're done teasing.
The Scorpius, the variant.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, we're done teasing. The redesigning to house a devastating EMP device and quantum jammer. We'd like to introduce you to the RSI Scorpius and Terry's coming in Alpha 318. Hashtag Alpha 318. Hashtag lasting legacy. So, a new Scorpius variant coming out. What do people feel about that? How do people feel about that?
That's cool.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's cool, but where does it fit?
What do you mean, Fat?
Okay. We talked about this. We kind of touched on this last night, but okay. You have it's the Scorpius is a heavy fighter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it sits in the same class as a Sentinel.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out, do you choose like what's the benefit of one versus the other?
So the Sentinel as in the Vanguard Sentinel?
Right.
Okay.
Well,
Isn't
like,
the
from the stats-
Scorpius faster? More.
Yeah, I think Scorpius
maneuverable?
is a light fighter or medium.
Yeah.
Isn't
Yeah,
the
Scorpius is
Vanguard
more of a
heavy?
medium fighter
Yeah.
than a
I
heavy.
think it's medium. I'm
Okay.
not sure. It's not a
But-
tip that I own.
Because this has a QED and the other thing.
Oh, it snares?
Yeah, snares too.
Okay, so now that puts it in a different class because
I
we
mean,
thought that
yeah.
it was just a EMP device. So
Well,
it
it
does
says the
both.
EMP device and quantum jammer. So
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well,
the other
that's-
word for a snare.
Okay, that's a whole nother animal now. Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder how that.
I'm just interested in what the gun size is going to be on the wings.
Probably the same. Probably
the same. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I heard. It's the
Ooh.
same. They just lose the turret guns. That's it.
So if this is coming in Alpha 318, is it already in PTU?
No, not that I know of. I haven't seen one. I've seen one flying around. I think it's just going to be something they drop when 318 goes live.
So my thing is now that this is a dual purpose ship, this might become a meta.
I don't think so.
Things.
I
Wait. I said certain things. You got to hear that. You got to hear that last part. I said certain things.
Now, my thing is, I'm just wondering, what size ships can this actually be effective up until?
It's only light fighter.
I would assume anything that's the same size and smaller, maybe a constellation.
No, you need two of these for the same size.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like they nerfed quantum.
This is still Alpha. They can change their mind on that. But yeah, if it's two of them for the same size, I don't see them keeping that. But we'll see.
Like you would need.
'cause it just made me think about what effect this would have on a capital, or
Not much.
or
Nah, you
I would
need
think Capital would be too heavily shielded. Unless you have like a whole bunch of them somehow.
Yeah.
Right team.
Just wondering how they're gonna really, really fit these ships into,
Anyone want to get one? That this game style appeal to anyone here?
Appeals to
Yeah.
me.
Okay.
I'm fighting the urge to get one.
I was thinking of upgrading my Scorpius to it. But the thing is, right? I have a Saber Raven, and I also
don't get
on
rid of that.
Yeah, no, I'm not getting rid of it. But on buyback, I have a Mantis, right? And so I'm like, well, I don't need to buy back the Mantis if I just upgrade my Scorpius.
But the Mantis is faster.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I'll have to see what the upgrade price is. The Mantis is faster. Plus, this isn't really my gameplay, so I don't know. Other than to have it, just to have it, I don't see a point for me.
Yeah, and there's going to be a Q&A. I have it in one of my many tabs at the top of the screen, but there's going to be a Q&A. So hold off on getting one until you get more details on it. And it's my advice.
Does anyone know if it's still a 2-seater?
No, I don't think so.
It's not out yet.
Unless,
Don't tell me.
unless
I think
the
it
operator
is.
operates the EMP and the snag part of it.
I mean, I cannot. Yeah, I can only click stop and start the animation, so I can't like zoom in. Well, no, that's not
It
true.
looks like there's 2 seats, but it's not like the current Scorpius where that seat's gonna. I don't think that seat. I don't know.
I see one seat, but that light is blocking the other one, so I don't know.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, like blocking it.
I just don't see CIG putting all that power into just a single pilot's hands. So,
I mean,
but I don't know. We don't know.
They have to make sure it punches above its weight class, Jared. You know that's a thing for CIG.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
so that is
the only thing that I see with
but I see this being used more for bounty hunters than for pirates.
Yeah, with 2 people in here. The only thing I see that would be with 2 people in here. What would the second person is really eating a sandwich or something because he wouldn't have anything to do. Until somebody comes along, for them to snag. But I guess so. Whatever they decide.
I mean, typically, one is the pilot and the other one is the operator for all the other ships. Well, not all of them, but the ship systems and stuff like that. So I don't think they're going to be bored back there, especially when in a situation when it gets hairy. But yeah.
Yeah, and Jake was on Yacht Club last night and said there's going to be an extensive Q&A for the ship when it dropped. So
cool.
We should find out a lot more.
Well, one thing it's a nice looking ship, pretty. So.
Yeah, I like the color scheme, but it's not my game style, so I'm gonna pass on it myself.
Yeah,
and also you'll be able to all the paints that are for the Scorpius, you can use those on it. They confirmed it. Xylo confirmed it.
Cool. All right, so yeah, that is the RSI Scorpius and Terry's coming soon. TM. Up next we have, last week Star Citizen Live, Flight, and Insight. This was a interesting one. Has everyone had a chance to watch this? Or what did you think? What did you think?
Oh, about this particular segment or the whole thing, or
the whole thing?
Going through sequentially?
Overall, yeah.
Overall, okay. So it was cool hearing where all these guys came from. I didn't know that one guy was from the Next Great Starship competition.
Right.
Yeah. I think he did the boom slang. Was that it?
The boom slang or the Redeemer? Yeah.
No. He did the boom
slang. Yeah.
Yeah, he did the boom slang because Jared said that he didn't win, but he won a career. Like, so,
okay.
Right, I thought the boom slang should have won. Like, honestly, like I wasn't following him.
Agree.
Yeah, but when I looked at it, when somebody showed me, and I was like, "Oh, that ship should have won." But anyway, this was cool. Hearing like where they all came from, and then the team that had just been like cruising through because they wanted to see the spaceship. He had them sit down. That was interesting. But the best part of this to me was the end, where he went through the whole build system, and it's something I had been wanting Jared to do. Like I thought it would have been great for like a whole ISC where he would talk or maybe take outtakes like we used to get with Burn Down of developers through the process so people could understand the process. But I thought he illustrated it on that whiteboard really, really well. And it's something I'll probably, use to refer to people to when they have questions about it. Because it was so well done. It's almost like he's a school teacher.
Welcome, Rain. I wasn't sure if I welcomed you. How are you doing, Rain?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, what did anyone else think about Star Citizen Live? Any part you can talk about the end, or this part we're watching here. I enjoyed this part. It was kind of over my head sometimes, but I follow the development mostly for the ships. So the code and stuff like that is kind of over my head sometimes. But yeah, it was good for people who enjoyed that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I already know all about it.
I feel like
Of course you do.
I actually thought, I'm sitting there thinking, kind of like this sort of fight in me where I'm like, this is great. Thanks, Jared. People have been begging to understand things, but then you actually look in the YouTube comments and you look in Twitter and you look in Reddit and everywhere, and people, well, this was a useless episode and this was particularly useless and I don't care and just make the damn ships and stuff like that. And these are the same people who are like, well, we don't understand how the build system works. How did it fail assessment and stuff like that? And I'm sitting here just going, this is great. Jared comes off like an educator, and like he knows what he's doing because he does. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, well, from a personal perspective, it was useless for me because I already knew all of it. But I was still happy to see Jared like go over it. I'm just worried that he kind of pulled this out of his rear end, and it wasn't planned, and maybe he might have gotten a little bit in trouble for it. I hope not, but
I hope not. Yeah, I think
I hope not.
I think because the community was pulling for him, I doubt that he would get in trouble for it because of the community.
Well, I mean, it's Jared. Yeah, I don't think that there's a lot Jared can get in trouble for because it's Jared. So,
But Ryan, what gave you the impression he could get in trouble for this?
If we start talking about things like this, it's been a double-edged sword for me in the industry when we talk about stuff and people are like, well, I want to know about it, and then we tell them about it and they're like, well, that was boring, and it was like, well, what do you said you wanted to know about it.
Well, I mean,
so I told you about it, and now you're saying it was boring and useless and whatever. So,
well, during the actual episode before he started, he said he himself said I could get in trouble for this. So he was worried. He was worried for himself, but I hope he didn't.
Me too.
Yeah, I hope he don't, but I agree. I forgot he said that.
Yeah, and I hope people are looking forward to hopefully him doing something like this more in the future with other topics. So we'll see.
Live in the community and tell me all the things and get mad that they get told all the things.
And yeah, before I move on, I just want to say quickly that the Nubifier did a summary too. Thank you for putting the link in chat. But yeah, he Nubifier enjoyed it. So hopefully he had to post up the community and whatnot, thinking what people thought about this part. But yeah, I enjoyed the episode overall. I forgot almost everything that I heard, but it was still interesting. So moving on. We have, so typically I search for CitizenCon info on the Los Angeles Convention Center website like once a week. And last week I did it on a Wednesday, I want to say, or maybe Tuesday. But I did it on, what day was it? Tuesday of this week. And I found this. So if you can't read it, let me make it bigger so you can see it. But yeah, this is the Los Angeles Convention Center website. If you search for CitizenCon, one word, there's a search to come up with the CitizenCon 2023 Los Angeles Convention Center. Date October 21st, 2023. Time TBA, open to public, yes. Location West Hall, AB. Petty Plaza, TPCD, parking. And that's all for the information about various parts of the convention center in LA. Did I do that right? There it is. So yeah, but if you click on the link, I can do this live. I already have copied it, but I'll do this live. So if you click on the link and open it, it leads to a 404 error. It's not found. But you can see that the link, well, you can't see it now, but the link actually comes up CitizenCon 2023. So it's a placeholder for now. And I was going to post it on to Reddit. Someone beat me to it 7 days ago now. So it looks like CitizenCon 2023 is going to be LA Convention Center for those who want to plan. And he said he had the, it shows up on the calendar for October 21st. But when I opened up, it's blank because it's a 404 error. So it's not, they had it up, but they took it down. but it was that's as close to the official as we're gonna get. So, what do people think?
I think
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't know if I should be thankful or worried that you click on this link every week.
Okay, see, the thing is, I love the community. I love meeting people. I haven't seen people in the community for 4 years. So last year, 2 years ago, in 2020, I opened up the LA Convention Center. What we call it? The website, and look at the calendar, and I had August for CitizenCon. So and as far as I know, I was the first one to found it, and people were telling people. But then, as you know, they canceled it. So yeah, this is a regular thing for me.
Gotcha. So you might as well let folks know that you've already gone through your.
I wasn't going to say that because I was going to give a PSA that this is not officially. CIG had not officially put out anything on their website yet, even though we had confirmation from Sandy to that October 21st and everything like that. But I personally went ahead and made my accommodations.
So you made the okay, great, that's cool. So you're gonna be at the Bates Motel, right?
How did you know?
Just lucky guess.
No, I'm gonna be at a different hotel. I'm not gonna say what it is at the moment, but yeah. So yeah, I've already made my accommodation, but I would still recommend most people to wait. But some people are getting better prices for hotel stays than others. I don't know what's up with that.
Don't be jealous. Don't
be jealous. Don't be jealous. It's okay.
Don't be hating. Okay. Don't be hating.
Don't hate. Don't hate. Don't hate. Don't hate. Don't hate.
Yeah, that is the information about this CitizenCon 2023. So yeah, do with it what you will. I would still wait, but airline prices may be going up in April, so. Don't wait too long. Yes, hopefully CID will give us concrete information sooner than later, but we'll see. All right, so up next we have. Oh yeah, this is from their Twitter account. Who's ready to rip through these records with the Vulture coming in Alpha 3.18? So they had all the Vulture's technical spec, role, crew, whatnot, the system, and avionics and stuff like that. So I thought this was a little cool. Piece that they did from the official RSI Twitter account, because it ties into salvage and repair Alpha 3.18. They put out a page a few days ago this week. So is anyone here interested in salvage and repair?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's
and lucrative.
It's very lucrative. About as much as unrefined Quantanium. You get to actually make little items with it now, with our tier 0 crafting out of the stations. It's really fun in a fully crewed reclaimer, and it's super chill. You don't have to worry about a lot yet. Obviously, in the future, we might cut through a fuel tank accidentally and kaboom, who knows, munching and cutting and things like that. Been waiting on this for so long, and it's finally here. That in and of itself, the shipwrecks that you can go and find, the shipwrecks that are left behind from player battles, things like that. Yeah, salvage is freaking awesome.
Yeah,
I'm going to ask real quick, Jade. I'm going to ask for a quick poll from everyone in chat. If you have a Vulture or a salvage or a repair ship, put a 1 in chat for me, please. Thank you. What are we going to say, Jade?
I was just going to say, I just like the idea of going out to the Aaron Halo and just making that, my home for a while and just loading up on salvage. Having a couple friends join me on Reclaimer and just loading up and taking it all and selling it and splitting it up. It's just, I don't know. For some reason, because the Reclaimer is the capital ship of salvage in a way, right?
Yeah.
So it's been around forever. and it never had a use. And now that it's actually got a use, and it's a cool looking ship inside.
I
and I
was
think
going to
it's-
say,
yeah.
Jade, it does have it does have one use. It looked cool. That is its use. It looks. Well, I don't want to say pretty. It
But
looks
now
cool.
yeah, but now it's really cool because it's
And
got a
it getting
use.
sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm done.
It getting some of its functionality has also probably shown the ship team that, oh dear, this was not built correctly. It will need a rework.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like done in 2015, 2016-ish. So yeah,
Yeah.
I could definitely see it getting a rework.
Yep. It's gonna
That's
need
a
it
big
because
step
yeah.
to get up to gold standard. So we'll see.
Well, the elevator
yeah.
doesn't work, and the some of the cargo grids are different, and then you've got to open the elevator and put cargo on the elevator to take it down to the cargo bay, and the elevator doesn't work, doesn't have a cargo grid. You can't open it from outside the ship. So there's a lot of problems with the Reclaimer right now. It needs a lot of love, but having it work and being on one and hanging out with some friends is really freaking cool.
Yeah, I'm on the fence because in EVE Online, I was a big salvager because I used to
Me too.
salvage my own missions and wrecks and stuff like that. But I'm not
Multi-boxing?
sure how- Yeah, multi-boxing. I have 5 accounts.
Yeah,
5 accounts
I had
in
3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I was big on salvage and EVE, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be continuing that on in Star Citizen. So if I do get one of these, it'll probably be I'll probably get it in game without LTI, but we'll see. So yeah, they talk about the tools of the trade, the multi-tool attachment. Looking to start a salvage career, head over to Dumper Depot or Platinum Bay, pick up a multi-tool, just like that one that they showed. And they talk about the Great Vulture, answer no one, talk about the Middleman. That is the Great. It's a fun looking ship. Like, I mean, I wouldn't mind having that just in my hangar, just to have and to look at, but I don't have that kind of money.
Oh wow. I've never noticed that. Like from this angle, it looks like the taxi cab from Fifth Element.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah, except for the arms, but yeah.
Yeah.
Multi-pass, Lilu. Anyway, no, I'm not gonna do that. Anyway, so Agents Reclaimer, that's like I said, it's a great looking ship. Even if I did have the extra crash, I would not buy that because it would just be sitting in my hangar collecting dust. But it's a fun ship to look at. Thanks for reinforced cargo bay and a long range jump drive. The Reclaimer is ideal for breaking apart deep base wrecks. But you need a crew for that, so that's definitely not a single player. Well, I would not recommend it for a single player. Put it that way. Top of the RMC, recycled materials composite, hole scraping and repair. We've seen that a few times on IRC and other shows. One RMC, I get the pun. Thank you. I get the pun. So once you find an object to scrape, engage a beam with the mouse one on by default to tell you how to scrape. And show your foils. So this is the UI that they're used for selling on your ship. And not your ship, but the stuff that you have in your ship. Sorry, that's what I meant. And fixed features. If you created RMC canisters instead of filling your SCU container, you got your SRT multi-tool attachment handy. You can use the RMC to repair or your friend's hull damage. So yeah, you can fix it as well as scrape it. So overall, I think this is cool. Looking forward to people enjoying it in 2018. Any final thoughts before we go to the about salvage or repair? Oh, okay. Cool. So next up we have this is the lore piece from this week. It's called Portfolio Cloud Defense System CDS. I'm not gonna go through it exactly, but hopefully someone will put the link in chat so you can go through it later. But yeah, that is the lore piece. Anyone check it out this week? Guess not. Nope.
No, I missed it.
Yeah, I saw it before.
I didn't know this one.
Yeah, it's called Cloud Defense Systems. I've heard the name before, but I've forgotten about it. I mean, I've forgotten more stuff about Star Citizen these days than I can remember. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I've heard of the CDS before, but yeah, that should be an interesting read. Oh, so yes, we're going to the dev tracker part this time. So as we had a late ISC today, so someone was asking ISC, where is it? And put a picture of Batman talking about where is she. So Jack Acapella said, ran into a few issues, folks. It'll be up shortly. Thank you for your patience. And it came up like, I want to say 90 minutes ago. So yeah, 90 minutes ago, or 2 hours now. So she said, hey, or Night Rider said, hey folks, thank you for patience. And the ISC is up. So we'll get to that at the end of the episode. So yeah, they were a little late this week, but I wasn't too worried.
There's no bullies out though.
Oh, this is going to be a conversation starter. So Alpha 3.10 is now open to all backers. Are people seeing an influx of players in the PTU?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it chaos or orderly?
Both.
But yeah, depends on the the instance that you get into, the dedicated game server that you get into, the DGS you get into.
How much garbage is everywhere in the stations?
Not a lot. No. I think they got their cleanup algorithm going really well because I haven't seen a lot. What you do see, you'll come across, will be sometimes people wreck near the spaceports, and you'll see like a ship that just like I saw 600i. I don't know what happened, but I love the fact that going there you can like piece it together. Right outside of the spaceport at Microtech, like where you spawn the ground vehicles, and it was just broken up, and it looked like there was a hover bike, a hover quad near that was all in pieces too. And I'm like, whoa, what happened here? And then there was an abandoned Cyclone. And I'm thinking, did they try to get both of those things in there, or like I don't know, but it was just crazy.
That's so cool. But you can't salvage them over there either.
No. Well, this is the thing, though, right? And they may have turned this off. You could use the multi-tool. Oh, this is another fun thing I witnessed. You could use the multi-tool in armistice zones. And I actually saw people tractor beaming like pieces of a ship in New Babbage Spaceport, like knocking people off terminals because of course players are going to be players, right? They were like knocking them off. People try to spawn their ship and they get knocked off the terminal. So I'm sure that's going to get, if it hasn't been fixed already, I'm sure it will.
Oh, yeah,
but it would have been really cool. Like, I don't know if they can just, maybe you don't enable it for the medical attachment or the tractor beam, but you do for the salvage. That would be great.
Yeah, the CIG's definitely got to nerf that.
Yeah.
Can't have nothing breaking up the lines for the terminals.
I don't know. I mean, I can see if they allow it. I can see people trying to salvage within Art Corp or Hurston trying to get free material.
No, all I see is bullying at the terminals. So you got to pay the toll to call the ship.
Oh my goodness! I'll just switch to a different server at that point and come to that. But yeah. So yeah, they had the patch notes, submit your feedback, and submit your bugs. See you in the verse. So it's open to all backers. I'm waiting for it to go live, just like DJ Psychosis says he's waiting for it to come to PU. I'm the same way. So bless you all for going in early and reporting bugs and everything like that.
Been doing it since the very beginning, like back in October. Yeah.
So they have the different patch notes up. This is the one from February 9th. I just want to go through real quickly and compare the testing focus. They had all these for testing focus. This was like I said, February 9th, and the known issues. So that's the list of known issues. And talking about Arena Commander, AC Duel, Battle Royale, and Squadron battle mode as a selectable ship. Bug fixes, Grey Cat, and what have you, and they fixed 3 server crashes. So that is from February 9th. We have 2 more. This is February 10th, the day after February 9th, obviously. So they must have had some kind of game-breaking bug, no issue. It's about the same size. The feature update, ultra-wide quality of life. Oh yeah, this is one of the things that come up later on. Ultra-wide screen, people will have an issue. Added a new visor support for various aspect ratios, I think that's what it meant, and high field of view. Added 443, 16:9, 21:9, 32:9, 48:9 visor message, which gets swapped out based on the current aspect ratio. So that's pretty handy. Took them a bit to get it down, but I think they have it down as far as I can tell. Prevented medgun use in green zone. That I think we were just talking about that. Well, not medgun, but yeah. Fixed vehicle art ship spawn with hull damage after a fresh claim. So technical, they fixed 3 client crashes and fixed 2 server crashes as opposed to 3 server crashes from the time before. So that is February 10th. And this is the most recent one. This one came out with the opening the PU to everyone. So this is well, it said the audience wave 2, but I'm pretty sure that's the everyone. But so yeah, they had different technical focus. The known issues is slightly 1 line shorter. I don't know which one they took out. But it had feature update. Cortex set up async 8 spawn wait timer to make sure players loading into the PTU waits for locations to be fully loaded on client before entering. Yeah, I hate when I try to get out of my bed and I fall through the world. The bug fixes, loot generations, loot boxes pointing aside one another. Character animations, emotes do not work via chat or PIT. Fixed UI, player HUD appears to be smaller and does not fit the screen. That's probably the aspect ratio thing that they had to fix. Fixed time trials. After the penultimate checkpoint is reached and the final checkpoint marker is added, there is another marker added to the previous checkpoint. Okay. They fixed the 600 sterling paint make the ship lack art materials. Ooh, yeah, they can't have that, especially on the 600i. They fixed 2 client crashes and fixed 3 server crashes. So that is from yesterday. No, the 13th. Sorry. So yeah. So are people noticing? Anyone here noticing the various bugs getting fixed, and or is it not noticeable to you because you haven't experienced it, or there's a bug that you're still looking for to get fixed?
Yeah, there's a bug not mentioned on here. There was a big one that Jake said was a blocker to 318 going live, and that was the train or the Skybus at Area 18 not working in 318 PTU, and that got fixed today. So
that's fixed today.
Yeah.
But
so that's a big one.
No patch. Okay, there's no patch.
Yeah, it was a hot fix.
Hot fix.
Like back
okay,
end.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the big one that I noticed.
Cool. So, I mean, they still have quite a few known issues. If you were to take a guess, because you're not CIG, no one here works for CIG, so we're allowed to take guesses. How close to finished or live do you think we are?
I would say, giving the natural progression of entropic decay in terms of atomic particles in the universe, somewhere between exactly right now and the inevitable heat death of the universe as we march, ever towards oblivion.
I'll be more optimistic and say next week, end of next week.
That's real optimistic.
So next week, like early next week or late next week?
Sorry, late next week.
Late next week, okay.
Yeah, probably Friday, Thursday, Friday.
That'd be awesome.
Anyone wanna take another guess?
I was at the last day of the month.
Last day of the month.
Yeah.
So this is not a leap year, so you want to say 28?
Well, I guess that's so close to Jade's. So okay. Yeah, it's like that Monday, the 27th.
Monday. Okay, all right. We shall see. Hopefully you'll all get these stuff worked out. And again, thank you all for helping out and testing the game. So up next, we have the winners of the Red Festival 2953 Moons of Fortune contest. First place is I need a P, and second place is Python, and third place is Capitos. And these are the winning submission. Basically, you know, for the Red Festival, you had to make a heart shape of excuse me, I think you had to make a heart shape.
No, that's Cormor.
That's Cormor. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, and you didn't have to make a heart shape, which is a lot of people did.
So yeah, so this is the first place winner, I guess. Love to feel the level of detail and the
contrast,
all the focus and the background and stuff like that. That's pretty cool. Oh, they got the roosters and everything. That's cool.
There's roosters now?
Yeah. Didn't you claim yours?
I don't know.
You put in a code and you get them in your hangar, but if you didn't do it, then you're out of luck because it's
I said so on Soul Talk. You lost it. If you didn't listen to me, that's on you.
Right?
I missed that. I don't remember.
Yeah, I said to put in the code and you get a rooster. So yeah. And that is first place, and this is second place. He's looking at it very intently at his card. And this is third place. And now that one took some work. That one looked like it took work.
That's what I was gonna say. That'd have been my first place because it just the amount of work it looks like went into it.
That's a lot.
Actually, let me make sure. I think it's 1, 2, 3, but maybe it's in reverse. So let's see. I'm clicking on. Yep, that is third place. So yeah. Capitos. Yeah, I agree, Capitos. I think you should have gotten first place, but I'm not a judge, so sorry about that. But congratulations on winning. As far as I know, they got first place one in Carrot, second place one in Andromeda, and third place one in Pisces, but they're all with LTI, so congrats. Alright, so up next we have yes, this is the roadmap. Oh, this is the follow-up to the roadmap. Sorry. So this is a post from Yogi Clat CIG. So I wasn't able to get the to what they're replying to, but the response was they are planning to do an extensive testing with master modes, etc., before it's shipped to the PU. But it's impossible for them to tell the time frame for that. Squadron 42 is currently the focus, and they do not know when they'll move from the tech to the tech and data over. So they do want to test master mode, but they're still waiting on some stuff. So yeah. So up next we have. This might have been a good one for Griffin on Saturday, so hopefully I didn't steal it from him. But it's PES, the new version of iCache, or the Entity Graph, the new version of iCache. So basically that's the question, and have not a detail, but a response from Clive Johnson, CIG. My throat is getting dry. Could anyone be able to read that for me?
Sure, I can do it if you want.
Yes, please.
Okay. iCache is a service that provides distributed in-memory caching of previously queried and updated data stored in an SQL database. By having the game talk to iCache instead of directly to the database, a lot of queries are avoided, reducing load to the database, helping it scale to a larger number of clients. Entity Graph is a service that provides translation from our game-specific query language into the query operations of the underlying database and translates the results back into a form that the game can easily understand. Entity Graph also provides extra reliability and scalability guarantees that iCache doesn't. What Entity Graph doesn't do is any form of caching. However, it talks to a NoSQL database that performs its own distributed in-memory caching. Not only that, but the database is specifically and optimized for graph data, which is a much better fit for the type of queries we want to do. And my screen just went real blurry. Like do you want to pick the rest up, Ring?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so where was it? Doesn't do anything for me. However, talks to a NoSQL database that performs right. Okay. So to answer your question, Entity Graph and its NoSQL database is the replacement for iCache and its SQL database, which is a good thing. Entity Graph, both the service and its database, improved performance and scalability are what has enabled full persistence as well as the extended functionality for inventories, which is global persistence, which is fine. Like moving from SQL to NoSQL is actually a very good thing.
Thank you for both for that. So yeah, so I think I appreciate CIG for taking the time to explain these things. Because if you would have asked me, I wouldn't have said I don't know. But yeah, I mean, even after reading that, it's pretty. I'm not a coder or programmer, so I just know that iCache is for in-memory caching and the graph is for SQL or NoSQL translating. And yeah, so I think
if anybody wants to know what a NoSQL database is, like what the difference between NoSQL and SQL is, I can give something real quick. So, because I know that that's something that basically it's just a non-relational database, which is different from standard like SQL database infrastructure. It's faster, right? It's flexible, scalable, extremely high performance and extremely high functionality and redundancy. And like it's like again based in graph, has a low memory footprint and incredibly optimized for search functionality. So instead of like in a regular SQL database, you've got like a bunch of little data points. In a non-relational, like a NoSQL database, you would take like a book for example and store it as a JSON document, and then each book would have like its ISBN, book title, edition number, author name, author ID, stored as attributes in a single document, and basically like you can optimize data for more like highly intuitive development and better scalability in the workspace for that database environment.
So to make it to oversimplify, it makes it faster.
Yes.
Yes. The People's Radio runs off.
I did the dev talk thing, didn't I? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was trying.
No, I'm just messing
yeah,
with
I was
you.
trying to like explain it easier, and then did the dev talk thing. I'm sorry.
No
So
problem.
for you, fastcart, the People's Radio operates off of an SQL database. It's the whole backbone is an SQL database. So when we had that hiccup that time, that was because it was an SQL database.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
So yeah, and there was another reply. So I just want to pick that up before we continue real quick. So this is also from Clive Johnson. Well, this is the question. So let me scroll up to get the question. So, and the writing is in the description for a personal inventory release view feature, mentioning the iCache, in fact, referring to those entry graph services. So I think that's the gist of the question. And Clive Johnson says, I think that is just because the task description has been updated since 2021. So while entry graph was still being developed, all in-game inventories are persisted using entry graph's global database, and so that they are fully integrated with PES. So yeah, that's a problem. Well, not a problem, but one of the issues is trying to keep everything up to date. Some things will fall to the wayside, and you'll have to manually update the descriptions and information at a later point. So yeah, it happens. Especially, I mean, they have, you know, as time goes on, they keep getting more and more complex. So I can see this happening.
I should say that, by the way, like the document version where things are stored as a JSON document is a different version of a non-relational SQL database from a graph-based non-relational SQL database. So graph-based SQL and NoSQL is different, just to let people know. There's like 5 or 6 different variations of NoSQL, like in memory versus like graph versus document versus key value, for example.
All right, cool. Thank you for that. So up next we have, this is real quick, so I don't want to spend too much time on this one, but weapons and component variety, an update would be great. This person says the number of passage go groups of weapon and shields were largely homogenized. It was explained at the time, but at the temporary simplification exercise. It's been like this for some time now, and they're not aware of any work being undertaken to move out of the paradigm. So Yogi Clat CIG responded, weapon balancing diversification is currently happening in Squadron 42. The weapons that are being used for Squadron 42 get the treatment first, others will follow, and you can't tell when the work will hit the PU. So they're still homogenized for now, but they're going to diversify later on. So that's the point of that. So to try the weapons being homogenized, they're working on that, basically. Up next is Coma Free Fly 2023. This is another real quick one. While we're not launching a Free Fly for Coma, we will share more details in the upcoming Free Fly event soon. So expect another Free Fly event soon. Probably much sooner than May for Invictus Week. So maybe March.
It's going to be for 318. Watch.
318 or the the Green Festival. What's that called in game in lore?
Stella Fortuna.
Yeah, Stella Fortuna. So yeah, probably that or 318 or both if they coincide.
Yeah,
that's my guy.
Who ready for CRG to make a meal this year?
So yeah, we talk
what?
Ready for them to make another meal this year?
A million?
Yeah.
Another million. Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe 2 million. We'll see.
You know what I thought you said, you're right? I'm waiting for them to make another meal.
Oh,
right.
I heard mule.
Where are we going?
Yeah,
mule,
so did I.
like a green mule.
I was like thinking a mule variant. I'm like, what? No.
So you're right. I'm going to spend 2,500 points, total clip points for you to ban you from making jokes. No, I'm not sure yet. Ultra wide screen support. Dear Dad, I can't remember when, but a long time ago, ultra wide screen support were working perfectly. Then the new release came out and chat screen bugged out. So basically, Sylvain CIG, basically like a couple of patches ago, a PTU patches ago, they were working on the getting aspect ratios fixed. So they, like I said before, 4:3, 16:9, 16:10, 29, 32:9, and 48:9. Wow, who has a 48:9? I guess people do. But they're working on that, and I think they said that they're working now. So let me go for it. That was January 27th. This is January 27th again. They have an internal discussion about that. Yeah, that was January 27th again. So yeah, they just keep on going until. Yeah, just keep on going. But yeah, so hopefully they got it working for people who have ultra wide resolution. So, Fitchface, I know you have ultra wide. Have you seen any issues with it?
I haven't had any issues with ultra wide since I've been playing. But as far as them implementing this, I couldn't tell you. I haven't been in the game in quite a bit, you know.
I got ultra wide. It's great. Especially if you go into console now, you can actually see the whole line. But yeah, it's great. I'm glad they did this.
What happened before?
It would be truncated. Like it would just be cut off. You couldn't see the yeah. If you had a long line of text, it would just be cut at the edge of the screen.
Okay, cool. So they fixed that. Cool. So everyone here, the ultra wide, congratulations. The game works for you now. So up next, so will there be a new Q&A for the new Scorpius variant? We talked about this before, but Stylo CIG said there will be a Q&A for the Scorpius and Cherries, and Jake Acapella, according to Jay, you said that it's going to be in-depth, is what they said, right?
Yeah. Jake last night on the Yacht Club was talking about it. There were a couple questions, and he said just wait for the Q&A because it's going to be a very extensive long Q&A for it. So, yeah,
I can understand because people want to know the difference between not just the Scorpius and the Antares, but the Antares and other ships of the same similar role. So yeah,
God, this thing is so incredibly redundant and useless.
Yeah, but some people love that gameplay, so yeah, more power to them.
Yeah.
I don't know though. For a bounty hunter or maybe a group of pirates, I mean, it's like a Reese's cup, right? Like these two things go great together. Like,
You know, it
hey,
sounds like
quantum
fun
edition.
gameplay to me, though, Jade. With all respect, I love you to death. You know, it sounds like fun gameplay sitting in the back of your Scorpius Antares, getting ready to press a button.
Hey, but you could say that about any turret, right?
Yeah, that's all turrets.
That's all
Yeah, but
turrets.
at least if I'm in a turret, the turret shoots things and moves. If I'm sitting in the back of the Antares, I'm just waiting for you to tell me to press the button to make the thingy go off.
What are you gonna shoot if there's nothing to shoot?
I mean, at least with turret, there's gameplay, Jade.
Okay, you're one of those people that when I'm
alright.
flying the ship, I hear the guns going off, pew 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 pew, and you're
Moving
like, what are
on.
the enemies? No, I just wanted to fire
Moving
the
on,
gun.
moving on.
Moving on.
All right.
When can we expect to see envelopes attributed? So basically, there some people have not received the red envelopes. I got mine in my hangar, but Freya Vanadis said update the envelopes will still be updated. This is according to as recent as up yesterday, 8 a.m. My time, Eastern. The envelopes are still being distributed, and to a substantial amount of people. Hence, the time it's taken to complete this. We apologize for the wait, but they're on the way. Thank you for the patience. So that was, if you haven't gotten your envelope yet, be patient. It's coming soon to you.
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah.
still haven't gotten my subscriber flare. And Jake explained that too, like the whole system they use to attribute things. It takes a lot of time. Like they're working on a better system.
Okay. So this is from the RSI official Twitter account. Valentine's card not enough to basic. Send across a floated gift from the official Giphy page. So RSI now have a page on Giphy. And the follow-up to that is Spectrum from Annabelle Huxley. It says, first I've heard of it. I don't know why that, there it is. The official Giphy account for Star Citizen and Robert Space Industries. So yes, there's a Giphy account for RSI now. And Jack Capello asked, let us know your favorite. Also, anything you'd like us to add in the future. So Joanna added. He definitely wants that gift to be added, and I don't blame him. I want to see that added too. So, anyone looking forward to using gift from RSI site, the RSI account?
They gotta put the Chris Roberts one where he's like making all the hand motions.
No, that's gotta be in there. Yeah.
Yeah, if that's not in it, then I call. That's a scam.
Matter of fact, hold on. I didn't plan on this, but I'm gonna open that tab real quick and see what they have so far. So this is everything that they have. I'm going to leave that open for now. But yeah, so you have a whole bunch of gifts. A hot dog gift, double dog gift. Sorry.
Oh.
So yeah. Oh,
So
they got it. They did add that one that the person asked for, so that's added. That's cool. Ask and you shall receive.
All right, I'm gonna ask Jared for the Chris Roberts one.
Yeah. No, just post it in a thread, and they'll probably add it. If you can find it and post it, that'll be
I gotta
quicker.
find it so I can show him which one I'm talking about. But yeah.
Yep. All right, so that is the Giphy from the official RSI account now. Okay, so we're writing down, but Cormor were this week, for the 14th, and CIG, and that I alluded to earlier, talking about Valentine. So I would have sworn that someone is like stealing my joke, because some of these are like really, really close to something I would say. So. Like this
yeah,
one.
And they're horrible, just like something you would say.
Yeah, but wait, Rain. He was the star of the Cormor speed dating cruise that Oliver Zark did last year. Yeah. So like that was the one time. Like Zark actually asked me, "Do you have any like really bad jokes?" I'm like, "No, but I know somebody that does." That's how that all came about.
That's not what you told me last year. You didn't say bad.
I'm sorry.
You did not say bad, Jade.
All right, the cat's out of the bag now. I can't say anything. I'm busted.
All right, so this is from the RSA Twitter account. So you really pulled up my quantum drive. Yeah, Cypress, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. The next one is I got 999 reasons to love you. The next one is this is the Coltas. They mean cutlass, obviously, but this cutlass is silver. This cutlass is black. If you're ever in trouble, I've got your back. That definitely sounds like something I would say. Forget about Orson. You've seized my attention. Yeah, that's definitely a pickup line I would use. Don't snub me this Cormor. Not really one of mine, but yeah, I give him props for trying. I've just reported you to the advocacy for stealing my heart. That one is definitely mine. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes. I thought of you when I read that one, actually.
A couple more. This cutlass is red, this cutlass is blue, but they don't mean a thing if you're not on my crew.
Oh, that's a nice
That
one.
one's good.
Without you, my heart is a terraforming eco disaster. So that's a deep cut there. You got to know the lore for that one to appreciate that one.
Is she at Microtech? Yeah, I think so.
Probably. And this is the last one. Oh, this is the same one that they already posted. So my bad. All right, so that is it for the Cormor joke. I appreciate them, CIG. Whoever wrote those, I appreciate them. So up next we have the Inside Star Citizen called Messing Together Part 1. This is 17 minutes long. I went through this earlier while I was trying to put the show together, but I didn't see a stopping point in the middle, so I guess we're going to go through the whole thing before we
fastcart?
pick up. Yep.
Did you have a date for Cormor?
No.
I did. February 14th.
But you're wrong, because it's February 10th.
Well, actually,
Wait, I hope you appreciated my reaction. Looking into the camera just now. I hope you appreciated my reaction. All right, so let's get this show on the road. This is,
I was thinking of actual Valentine's Day in real life. Bite me.
Well, you should have said Valentine's Day, then bite me.
All right,
yes. All right, we're done.
Here we go.
Meetings. Hands down the most exciting element in all of game development. Now, everyone that has ever made a game will tell you that it's gathering in a meeting room and talking about stuff that's really their very favorite part of the process. Yes, the best days in game dev are the ones full of meetings, and the best behind-the-scenes content is always incredibly meeting-focused. Now, imagine a summit, an entire week dedicated to hashing out the plans for the next month, quarter, year, and sometimes beyond. Yes, exciting stuff, I know. All kidding aside, summits are an essential element of game dev we don't often get to explore. So when we heard that the core technology, network, and engine teams were coming together to discuss how best to move from persistent entity streaming into tackling the immense server meshing, we figured you might just indulge us in trying something a little different this week. So we set up some cameras and grabbed a few willing participants just minutes after completing their second day of summits to get a candid, unfiltered look inside one of the most important Star Citizen summits of 2023. And let me tell you, January's been full of them. So to spare you the full effect of 5 days of meetings, we'll be spreading these out over the next few weeks while continuing our look at content being developed for 3.19 and beyond. So, after just a little ado, we present to you the Server Meshing Strike Team Q1 2023 Development Summit Post-Meeting Review. Name pending.
Do you need me to look into the camera or is that right? Got you. Okay.
Meshing Summit Day 2.
Just stick it in your pocket.
Okay.
Oh. Inside your.
I am in this one.
Yeah, there you go.
I didn't know what you'd written.
I wrote Benny B.
I can't do this if they're watching me. Go away. Go away, please. Forever.
What are you guys doing here?
Well, I'm visiting the UK to discuss server meshing with the rest of the team.
We're doing a summit to try and plan for the next deliveries of Pyro and server meshing.
So summits in general, especially this one, is really where all the teams connect because, you know, with the pandemic, a lot of people have been working from home. So summits become really important because it allows us to reconnect together. So we meet in one location. This time it's in the UK. And we have representative of every team. So most of the leads in every team.
It's the first time that we're meeting as a team. For a lot of us, a lot of people joined the company. A lot of people joined those teams and they've never met so far. So it's just great. Like we have someone from Korea, Montreal, we have people from all over, you know. So it's also a strong aspect of the summits.
This is a great opportunity for us. This is the first time ever we've had the strike team all in one place, all at one time. This is our kind of Avengers assembled moment for server meshing. This is the time we get 3 core teams together to actually work out the final nuances of the architecture to build this system.
There are many teams are involved, and to get the teams on the same page, we're just building everyone in a room, talk for 1 week, aligning our goals, that we can just go out and crank at the code without less communication than we would have without many people are already working together for a long time, so it's make communication easier if you know each other and getting forward to agreeing on goals. Based on that, we can more efficiently execute toward a goal, because especially in a global company where time zones are, it's kind of hard. Sometimes I think about software development is like an oil tanker, where it runs good into one direction, but as soon as you want to change direction, it takes a long time because you need to get everyone has a slightly different idea of how stuff works, and to get everyone really understand how stuff should work on a more detailed level, it's a lot of work and align it.
Once everybody's put their stuff in, we plan it out. We discuss approaches, strategies on how we're going to intertwine our work. And this allows us to be on the same page so that we can then work together to achieve a very specific objective and not just be building technology for fun. The objective of this summit is to flesh out the exact roadmap for server meshing based on all of the work we've been doing for PES. So PES is the state of the simulation that's now persisting. That's great. It's behind us. Now we need to actually server mesh.
The major goal of this summit is to reflect back on what we've done and see how we can do it better for the next milestones on server meshing. What did we forget? What can we do better? How can we better organize ourselves? So we keep moving forward and we don't do what we've had to do a lot for the previous delivery, which is think and create as you go. And there will always be a little bit of this in game development. It's normal. You need to have this creativity. You need to keep that, but we also need to get a little bit better at planning and anticipating some of the challenges.
The goal of the summit is really to flesh out the steps to get there with the objective to ship a second solar system. That's really the primary objective.
What do you call a jump point for you? Because we are talking a lot of the low technical stuff.
That's what I want to know. Some of a secondary goal is talking about.
Goodbye. Secondary goal would be talking about the low technical groundwork to enable features like jump point.
So this is day 2, I think, of the summit. So we've done a first retrospective of all of the PES work, issues we've encountered, problems we've had, things we want to avoid. And this is officially the first day of actually digging into meshing.
On our second day, we talked about, what did I talk about?
Day 2, we have drunk so much coffee.
Day 2 has been super great in that we've aligned a lot of our different roadmaps. Every team gets to have their own sort of view on the project, and I think today we really came together as this is the critical path that we need to achieve. Everything else is gravy, but we have the critical path is really clearly identified, which is a big deal in the size of this project.
Server meshing, the plan for persistent entity streaming and server meshing, they were designed to be done simultaneously at the same time. This is going back to late 2020. We couldn't do that. It just wasn't practical in the end. So we had to devote all our attention to doing persistent entity streaming. This was in during lockdown. So we did all of this while we're all working from home. We're now in a position with the server meshing stuff. And I kind of lost my train of thought. I was going to say something really good and I forgot it was.
Yeah, we know what the critical path is, which is that's the most important thing in these technology projects because they get to be very large. And so sometimes you lose track of what the actual objective is. And our objective is to get a second solar system online as fast as possible, not just to build server meshing technology, but it's to get the second solar system online. Now we have a rough roadmap of the different steps we need to do to get our second solar system online. And so now we start arguing about the later steps and the strategies after that.
We're tackling a lot of really difficult problems at the moment. Server meshing is one of the toughest problems to solve in video game development, and we've gotten to the point now we're getting the persistent entity streaming to the point where it's shippable. That then kind of opens up lots of opportunities to be able to get this quite impressive system built. So yeah, there's good stuff happening here. So the first phase is the separation out of the replication layer. That unlocks the Pyro jump gate stuff. That also unlocks the server meshing stuff. We've been talking about the zones and authority, but you're much better off talking to a proper engineer about this kind of stuff. But yeah, we're getting a good handle on this stuff. We're getting a good plan for delivery.
We have delivered the PES technology, and now we need to build on what we built there, defining more sub-steps to go out to actually bring Pyro in the hands of the player.
This is a really complicated system, and we had to learn how to do it. There's been a lot of experimentation, there's been a lot of invention. When we had our initial plan at the beginning of 2021, late 2020, there was a lot of stuff in there that we knew we had to build but didn't quite know how to build it. When we actually came to build those interesting systems, we had to we found problems. We found stuff that was never expected. We found limitations of the technology, we found limitations of what the hardware could do. So we very much had to get our engineers to invent our way around the problem. So this is very much a feedback, this is a learning experience to figure out how we need to build server meshing. The key thing that we're doing with this is server meshing is also tied into the delivery of the jump gates to get to Pyro. It's not quite the same problem, but it also kind of is. When you actually do a jump to get to Pyro, we have to transfer authority from the Stanton DGS to the Pyro DGS. What we want to do, of course, is have multiple DGS per star system, but we're separating the actual jump gate stuff from the actual server meshing stuff, so that we get to the point so we can actually assure Pyro's delivery, and whilst we worry about the actual server meshing delivery. So we're actually, those are now, from our perspective, two different problems. So very early on, we're going to be tackling what we're calling separation of the replication layer out from the DGS. So that's the thing which replicates all our data. It allows communication. It's a single source of truth in memory for the state of the entire universe at any given time. That's going to get separated out from the DGS that currently holds all the fun simulation stuff that's happening at the moment. That's a first key step, both to delivering Pyro, all the technical backend for the jump gates, and it's also our kind of first big step for server meshing. So that's what we're going to be tackling initially. The design that we're putting in now, we've had for a couple of years, and we've been refining it over that time. In the time we're building persistent entity streaming, there have been bits and pieces of server meshing on there that we needed to get done. But we're now in a position now to really, now we've got persistent entity streaming down there as a kind of foundational piece. That then opens up the opportunity to really kind of get this design that we've had, that we've honed, to really knuckle down and actually get it dashed out and get the first version out. Static server meshing, that is. This is a piece of work that's going to last for quite a long time. There'll be ongoing stuff for quite a while.
Moving to the goal, even 5-6 years ago when we started with object container streaming, where we started to split up the game into smaller chunks, and then moving from there, having stuff only partially loaded on the clients, having stuff partially loaded on the server, and then decoupling the persistent state. And now the next steps are to decouple it more into more logical units to execute the code, which actually server meshing is. So yeah, it's really a continuation, and over time, the more you understand of the problem, the more you know what you need to do. So Yeah, that's why every year kind of, most likely we have a summit once per year on this topic for the last N years to refine what we do and what exactly we need to do after we got the step near.
That's the critical path to the first step. But after that is how we get to the actual end game, which is the dynamic mesh. So we all have our views on this, but now it's really, we're getting into the gray view. Like, how is this gonna work? Here's cases we have to deal with. Like, what if a player dies into a jump tunnel, right? What happens to the missions, right? What happens to the persistent state of these tunnels? Do they exist? Do they not exist? Do they respawn? So we talk about not necessarily the gameplay aspect of it, like I'm giving you guys an example now, but really the technology aspect of it. So do these zones keep existing? How do we reuse them? Do we want to reuse them? What's the effect on PES, right? For these zone transition subsystems. So that's been the highlight of it has been really about identifying that and then how we make it dynamic.
The best thing which came out of today is basically the same which comes again out of summits. It's to get alignment, that everyone gets the same idea into their mind in a detailed level. This is, that's general alignment. That's not.
After day 2, I think the biggest question is still how we're gonna operationalize the dynamic mesh. And so, we still have these big statements like, oh, we're going to request additional DGSs and then assign them. Now we're going to have to flesh out, how do we request them? How do we know they're ready? How do we assign them? How does that actually work? Is going to be the key to the next steps.
That will then be built over the coming months. And of course, it's not just us as well as the strike team. We have, 50 or so game teams that are also going to have to take this code and then have to adapt all their functionality that they have across Star Citizen to use all this cool technology. So yeah, this is the start of server meshing in its current form. In our case, it's cramming a lot of developers into a room, closing the doors, getting them to drink coffee and talking a lot. It's very much a list of stuff that we've got to determine. We basically have a list of stuff that we need to nail down. Open questions, miscommunications between teams. We need to get these 3 key teams all aligned, all pointed in the same direction, so they all fully understand what it is they're building. We resolve the technical niggles that we have between these teams, so they really understand what it is they're making. We correct problems before they happen, so there's misunderstandings between the interfaces between the teams that can be quite expensive to fix. Having a summit like this allows us to fix these problems in advance and fix them much more cheaply. So yeah, we need to just, this is what gives us the solid plan that we're going to be working to for the next year. So touch wood, we're in a position now to finally push on and get the very first version, which is static server meshing, in place. We're bound to find other problems on this journey, but we can invent our way. We know we can invent our way around these problems. So yeah, we may occasionally get slowed down, but we don't get, we're still determined to deliver this.
So what did we learn this week? Well, we learned that PES is not just the technical harbinger we all knew it would be, it was also the critical experience necessary to review, amend, and evolve existing plans for server meshing with the lessons learned along the way. That it is a variety of technologies, including the long-awaited jump points that will enable the addition of Pyro and star systems beyond. And that people, really, boy, do they really love to just sit down for an interview just 5 minutes after sitting in intense all-day meetings. Whew. And let me tell you, I owe some people some dinners. Now, we'll be back with more traditional ISC features and return visits to the Meshing Strike Team Summit in the coming weeks. And don't forget to keep your eyes on the robertsspaceindustries.com website and socials for information on the pending release of Alpha 318. It's got salvage, cargo, persistence, and more. And it seems there's a new Scorpius. The things you'll learn on Twitter. For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee, and we'll see you all here next week.
And we're back. So, I'm going to ask for a free-for-all. What do people think? Don't know what talk about. Go ahead,
Bob. Let's see, it was kind of cool seeing the ET poster, the way they added that. And the gentleman that was he was talking, I didn't get his name. But just made me think, how much of a space nerd do you have to have a solar system shirt in your wardrobe?
Mm.
You know, but
Neil deGrasse Tyson has one.
oh, okay, yeah.
No, not only that, he has ties.
Okay.
No, I think the answer to your question, Pop, is a big space nerd. How about that?
The big one, yeah, I guess you do. I don't know where you shop for that on. I guess you just
Amazon.
Amazon. Yeah, I was getting ready to say Amazon. Okay. I thought it was really interesting though. How when they talked about how their software, they can actually go in and change. I know they've made most of it, but it was really good how they can go in and change their software to adapt to situations and to evolve. I thought that was really, really interesting. You mentioned that.
Okay, cool. Jid, you were saying something?
Yeah, well, yeah, I was saying, embarrassingly, I have a dress that's a galaxy, but go into this. Yeah, I had a couple takeaways from this. The biggest one is one that we kind of heard, but it was really clear in this to me was that probably the biggest indication we'll get that we're getting close to static server meshing is when they decouple the replication layer from the dedicated game servers, which is that's gonna have a lot of knock-on effects that players will, a lot of this back-end stuff, players don't actually really see it or really, experience much of a change, but that one will for a number of reasons. It's going to take a lot of load off of the shards that we're on now, the dedicated game servers, and it's also going to be, for persistence, it's going to make persistence persistent. In other words, like when you log in now in 3.18, if you don't go back to the same shard that you were on before, then you're really like in an alternate universe, right? But eventually, when they separate that replication layer, then it's going to all be the same. Like it won't matter what shard, what dedicated game server you're on, that stuff will be there, right? So that's going to be huge for gameplay, but it's also huge because that's what's needed in order for server meshing to work. It's like a core thing because they have to replicate things across to Pyro, and we'll know more when we get that. That's when you can start getting excited about server meshing.
I'm already excited, Jade. What are you talking about?
Okay. You're excited for the Bounty Merchant Man, too.
Yeah, that's true. So I get excited easily. That was saying. All right, so what, anyone else have any comments about this ISC?
I feel like there's a lot of people that's going to be upset that this conversation is just now being had. Like, the optics of, like, perception of server meshing.
Okay.
I feel like,
yeah. I gotta say, cause I mean, it's been had before, but never in all in one place, I guess.
No, they mentioned in this they've had these kind of summits before. It's just that we're just seeing this, right? We're seeing one of them, but they've had them before. They do a lot of stuff.
I think it means like they're coming to us, like the transparency of what they're doing. But they typically don't have it after summit ISC, for instance. But I hope they did it from continue on from now on. But we shall see.
Yeah, and it seemed like we're gonna get another, like, Jared at the end, I think, said something like, we're gonna hear more. So I think there was more of this meeting, or like,
I'm pretty sure. I mean, they went on for like I don't know how many days, but I'm pretty sure they have like several hours of material they can pull from, and yeah.
Yeah, someone in chat said that they didn't think we'd hear about server meshing for another 2 years. I said, no, I think we're going to hear about it so much this year. My prediction is that by December, people are going to be sick of hearing about server meshing. And they'll be like, I just want it in game.
Some people already are.
Right?
Well, for me, when I hear stuff like server meshing, PES, ICAS, and stuff like that, I'm like, it's not that I'm not tired of hearing about it. It's just that it's not my focus of this game development. I like hearing about how ships are made. That's my jam. But some people, it's not the same for everyone. Some people love bug smashers for instance. But yeah.
So one of the things, like, you know, you're a lot of the people. You're like a lot of the people in the community, and one of the things I think that CIG could do a slightly better job of when they do something like this is at the end, if they had somebody that could convey, this is what it means to you getting a Banu merchantman, right? Or like, because then it's like more relatable, like what this tech can enable you to do with the ship that you own, or the kind of gameplay that you want to do. That's all. That's the only, my only thing that I think would be helpful for a lot of people.
It would be really helpful.
You're quiet. I'm sorry, go ahead, UI.
I said that would save a lot of imagined conversations.
Yeah, exactly. And where there's, that's a good point, because where there's an absence of information, people have to imagine. And it's that whole thing of, do you see the cup as half full or half empty? Are you a conspiracy theorist? Or, do you say, oh yeah, I've seen CIG create the things that they said they were going to create, just not on their original schedule, right? Like it would take away a lot of the drama in the community, I think, if there was a little bit more of that, but who knows?
Yeah. I'm not trying to call you out or anything, but you're quiet over there. You have anything to say about this?
I just was listening and let folks talk, but basically, it's a lot that this was about, to unpack, to basically see this meeting and to hear them, try to tackle these problems that are going to be coming up. I try to keep it short and sweet. It's cool to be able to, see something like this on the inside, because you don't really get to see this in any other game company. To be able to have that, that looking window to be able to peek inside, So I appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, some people don't want to know how the sausage is made, but when it comes to development, I don't mind.
And I apologize before you go, though, Pops. I'm you know what? To be honest with you, like, from getting into, audio engineering and stuff like that, with my dad and everything, one of the things about me that I've learned is I'm kind of, just for me personally, I am one of those people who are the why, asking the questions of why. How does this work? How does that work? Stuff like that. So it's always good to see that synergy,
And for this book, I'm sorry if I butcher your name, but thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Pop, you were going to say something?
Yeah, we were talking last night, and we were talking about the I guess you used the word synergy a second ago. And one of the things I appreciated about these types of insight and the camaraderie between the people, and like we brought up last night, that they all seem to have this. It's not just I know they all have a common goal that they're all trying to reach out for, but it's. I kind of get the feeling about them that it's personal. It's important to them, and we also mentioned last night about how one bad apple coming in there can be such a disruption, because I've worked and I've done that, and one person can come in and do a heck of a lot of destroying. But I enjoy seeing these types of meetings, and having sat in quite a few of them like this. People working together. And the young lady, when she was speaking to someone off camera,
at the beginning.
Kind of, I don't know. Yeah, it probably wasn't. She kind of, shut them, and that whole makeup between them, I find that really interesting. The intertwining between all people. Yeah, I think that's really cool.
You mind if I put my 2 cents in?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, guys, I'm kind of sick still. Just my notes from this. First of all, I want to go back to something Uri said earlier. And there will be people who may think that this is like the first sit-down conversation about server meshing, the way this was kind of presented. But server meshing in 2023 is not what server meshing was in 2022 or 21 or 20 or 19. As the progression of the development has changed, so are the requirements and dynamics. The theory of server meshing still exists, but what they've been able to accomplish and find out what they can do and can't do is what changes. And so one of the things I noted, first of all, was they said that this is the first time that all the teams have physically been together. COVID had a dramatic impact on the ability to get together. We've seen them do Zoom meetings. Even before COVID, they would do Zoom meetings and stuff. But there is a dynamic, a chemistry of when you have anybody who's done this before, when you get in the room with people, it's totally different than when you do a teleconference. And first of all, there is, like Pops was saying, there's a connection of people finally getting to meet, getting a chance to talk. New hires who've come in over the last 2-3 years, meeting up with people who've been around forever. But for them to get on this idea of let's all be on the same page of what we're doing, because you've got these different studios who are all working on their portion of what server meshing is going to mean in the game. So the fact that this new facility in the UK allows them to come together and to spend that week of time together so that when they leave and go back to their respective studios, they're all on the same page and able to interact. Excuse me. I think it's vital. Pardon me. Sorry about my voice. But that was just the thing I really noted about this. And I don't want people to think that this is the first conversation about server meshing, because it isn't. What it is about what we believe we can do in server meshing and what we can accomplish at this point, based upon what the development has done over these last few years. So that's all I wanted to say.
No problem. And get better soon, Griff.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's it for this ISC. So up next we have our machinima. I didn't get a chance to preview this. This is that called Dangerous Love, a Star Citizen cinematic film. It's from Virtuality Media, and it's about 5 minutes long, so it shouldn't be too much to get through. But let's check it out.
I'd move the world for your eyes, run through the fires for you. I'd put your love on my life. There's nothing I wouldn't do. I don't feel the same when I'm not with you. Coming to, oh, your love is dangerous. You make it dangerous. This is dangerous love. It's dangerous love. It's dangerous love. It's dangerous, dangerous, dangerous love. It's dangerous love. It's dangerous. It's dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. I climb through your webs, jump off the edge of desire. Your touch takes me higher. Just give me your hands. We'll plunge the waters together and rise through the weather. I don't feel the same when I'm not with you. For your eyes, run through the fires for you.
And we're back. Mute this thing before it restarts. All right. So let's go in order. Fifth Space, what are your thoughts?
Very good production. Very good cinematic views of it. The only thing is, again, I know we talked about the emotes and stuff like that. The emotes, in this game, if they had more, obviously that's something down the line would have made this much better. This is no fault to the people who made the video, but when you listen to the song about what it's talking about, the context, it would have given it more of an impact on it. So, but definitely great choice of song and cinematics and everything.
I'm sorry. I missed your issue with it. The emotes.
Yeah, the emotes. Like, you think about the context of the song, the
Dangerous Love.
Right, exactly, and what it's talking about, and I'm assuming, as to what this is trying to demonstrate, is like I said, this is dangerous love. So I mean, you could have had, this become a love story, but you don't have those emotes in the game.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay, so you're complaining about the lack of emotes, not the emote that we use. Okay, I got it now.
Exactly.
Okay. All right.
Exactly.
Cool. Jade, what are your thoughts?
Yeah. So I loved it. And to what Fist to Face was saying, I absolutely 100% agree. I was thinking about, like, if we had a cry emote, right? Just something that simple would have made this better, right? Because like I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, what is the story? Why is she doing all this, right? And I'm thinking like a breakup. And I'm like and then the whole thing at the end where it's almost like there's like a retrospective, of her, like, waking up in the med bed. Yeah, emotes is a thing that, CIG definitely needs to work on. One of the things that always gets me is when I see, like, for instance, for the Core More page, there's that emote of there's that thing of them hugging. We can't do that in game. Like, where are hugs, CIG?
Not yet.
Where are kisses? Where are cries? Like, things like that would really make a lot of this type of emotional cinematic have just more of an impact. So I 100% agree with Fist to Face on that. To the scenes themselves, there were so many really, really good scenes. The one thing I would have maybe done differently was I would have tried to just maybe stick to one ship, because the whole thing here is I'm like, is she renting all these? Is she like ultra rich? Like, the idea of, like, if this is a character in the Star City universe, these ships are almost out of reach for just the average person in lore. So, like, the fact that she's flying all these different ships kind of like, it breaks, I don't know, it strains the idea that this is somebody that exists in the universe. It's more like this is a player showing all these ships. That's my only criticism.
I think citizens, like in lore, probably will have access to more ships because they'll have access to more opportunities. You don't think so?
No. The average citizen in lore is fairly poor, right? They don't, in a lot of cases, even leave their planet. It's the 10 to 1% that actually own ships, and yeah, I mean, it's not.
Well, remember, we're going to be outnumbered 10 to 1, so that kind of works out.
Right. I think that's why they wrote it that way. I think that's why they wrote the lore that way. But otherwise, like, that's my only, criticism of the actual production itself. It was amazing. Like, some of these scenes in here, obviously they've used VoIP a little bit to make up for the lack of emotes. Yeah. And that's great. I just, like I said, I just think the storytelling could have been a little better, but that's partially because of the lack of emotes of what. But I got it. I think I know what this was about, and I think she's been through some things.
Thank you, Pops. How about you? What are your thoughts?
Oh wow, it's a lot to say. I think Well, first of all, the game is a beautiful game, and I think it was without any words or anything needed to be said. It to me was about just sitting on the ship. That told a story to me. Stopping, looking around, just seeing told a story. Dipping the hand in the water. The different ships told a story to me. When she was in the medical bed and the quivering of the lips told a story to me about Star Citizen. It's a lot of shots they took, a lot of work they put into editing. I thought the music fit it, what it was trying to say. And I think to me it came across very well. But that's just me. Like they had the shot of the eyes, and the eyes told a story within itself. That it, just kind of out there looking and seeing what everything was about. I think this was a broad paint stroke of everything, not just about one single thing. I think it was about everything, and I think they did a good job.
Thank you for that, and thank you Nate Dog 24 for the follow. Appreciate it. Thank you. You out of
Cool
smoke.
name.
Yeah, right. You out of smoke. What are your thoughts?
For starters, I thought this was awesome. This was really good. Like there's so many angles, complex angles that like take some tries to get on the right way. But I would agree with Jade on like I thought this was something very different in the beginning compared to what we get to at the end. I did not understand the story, like personally, but like I understood the vibe. I just didn't understand the purpose of why we're doing all of this. And then the sad faces at the end of in the bed, I didn't understand why are we sad though? Because I thought this was more of like a commercial for Star Citizen. Like in the beginning, I thought this was like a straight machinima story. Like we about to get into some like character development, and then it switched into like we're showing off ships, and this is a commercial. I'm like, okay, vibe into the song, but it was all super well done. I thought it was something different, but it was still well done, amazing.
I thought it was well done. I appreciate the effort that they put into the production of this. I do have a complaint. This is probably a personal preference to me, but I think there are too many quick shots and coming too quickly. Like you have like Ghost of Orion. Thank you for the follow. I think you have like maybe 5 shots within 5 seconds, and or something close to that, or something like that. And that was kind of jarring to me. That's a personal preference for me though. But I think that this story, I took away something completely different from what you all are taking away from it. I think this is telling a story of a love of origin ships is a dangerous love. That's what I got from the video.
Wow,
You're lucky
shots fired.
Griffin.
Okay.
Well, like Citizen
I am
Shenanigans in the
now.
comments saying that it wasn't about the ship. It was about the experience that these ships enable you to have. And like I get that, but like some of the just some of the gear choices and with these ships that like it disconnected me from like logic of why would you wear that in a racing ship? Like so it took me out. Like of like, okay, so this isn't I guess that kind of lost me of like the extremes of what you're going through when you need these things. I didn't think of that. So just yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I don't think it was a bad machinima at all. I think it was well done. It's just that I think they took too many quick shots from me. That's a personal preference.
Yeah, I agree.
It was bordering my opinion, this is not back or anything. Bordering the line of giving someone an epileptic seizure at some point, in my opinion. But that's to say that it was bad, but you know, it's a personal preference thing.
You're really gonna hate the music video, Ryan. I put together this.
Oh.
There's gonna be it's fast paced, so there's gonna be a lot of quick shots because it's a music video to fast paced music. So,
Like, and the other thing, in the beginning, they used like the company RSI logo. Like that made me think it was like, oh, we're about to get into a commercial or like a commercial for RSI.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. I'm like, okay, they should use like the website, like Cloud Imperium website logo instead of that one. Like,
oh, you mean like the Star Citizen logo?
yeah,
The Star Citizen logo, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, no, but the Cloud Imperium has a logo too.
Yeah, but that's
But
more
they
for the
use-
company, not so
Yeah.
much for the game.
But that's what I made me think. Like, I feel like they meant to use that instead of the RSI one because the RSI one is the company, the game company.
Yeah,
for
in
the ship.
lore though, in lore.
In lore one. Yeah,
Yeah.
in lore. Like that's the in lore logo. Like that's
Mhm.
what, like maybe they should have used the Cloud Imperium logo and then the Star Citizen logo instead of using the RSI logo. Because I
It's
only
definitely
think
showcased the moist
the
eyes,
in-law.
though. I mean, now like people can't complain because there's a
No.
use for the moist eyes right there,
It is a use. People hate on moist eyes.
right?
We need more moist eye shots.
I agree. Like I said, we need a tear rolling down the cheek emote.
All right, so again, that was from Dangerous Virtual Reality Media called Dangerous Love, a Star Citizen cinematic film. Griffin, I don't know if you wanted to contribute anything. You're the one who picked this. Oh, hold on, he sent a message.
Nope, too many critics in the room.
Okay. All right. So yes. But before we move on, I just want to say there's a certain Super Bowl commercial making around that has been seen on several people's channel. We're not going to show it, not because I don't think it's newsworthy, but people are getting DMCA strikes on it, so that's why we haven't talked about it. But that's why we're not showing it. We can talk about it a little bit. But everyone's seen the commercial where they're seeing the Galaxy, the RSI Galaxy being used, and a Star Trek communicator being used. It was made in Mexico, I believe, but it was a Super Bowl commercial. Everybody know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You want to cover that just a bit before I wrap up? What are people thinking about that? What are your thoughts?
I'm just, I'm curious on what penalty will happen, or they just, tell them to take the commercial down. But it's kind of in a strange area. They do, yeah, they are. They use this shit. The people that made it, did it to make money off of it, and that's a big no-no.
And not just that, but you know how much money it costs to put a Super Bowl commercial on the air,
Right.
Even though in Mexico it wasn't in the States or anything like that, I'm pretty sure it wasn't chump change.
And that's a huge network too in Mexico.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. I mean to cut anybody off, but my thing is not just only like we talked about as far as the ship is concerned. They used a telecommunicator. You know who owns or knows that IP, that telecommunicator. They will go and do something about it. So that's I mean, as far as with CIG, I don't know, but I know who will though.
Yeah.
But my first response when I first saw it, I was like, "You got to be kidding me!" Like, it is the Super Bowl is the most watched thing in the whole year, and they didn't expect anybody from CIG
or the community, because I mean it was first noticed by the community first. So yeah,
and I'm like, they didn't expect anybody to notice it. Like,
I think from their perspective, because they're such a big network, they were probably like, this is a little indie game. Nobody's going to notice this thing, especially in our country. How many people pledged for this game in Mexico? They probably, like that might have, I'm not I'm just saying that might
I get
be the
you.
reasoning, right? Where they thought they could get away with it because it wasn't that known or something. I don't know, but yeah, it's crazy to me. My only comment on it is, okay, CIG, so you can steal those outfits that were in it and like put those in the game, and then just like I don't know, charge them for the use of the commercial, and then we're good. I just want those outfits. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, all right.
I'm sure there's guys that want the poncho too. So yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to spend too much time on it, but I just wanted to bring it up because we're not ignoring it exactly, but we can't show it because we don't want to get in trouble. So that's why.
And didn't you say that they used something from Star Trek too?
Yeah,
that's what I said.
They just said, "We don't care. We just."
That's why I said I know who will come after them.
Yeah, that's what I. Yeah,
that's
and I was going to say the name of the company, but I'll be telling myself. So that's what it is.
Maybe CIG can link up with that company, and they can do like a group. You know,
I don't know how that's going to work.
To them legally.
I'm not a lawyer, so yeah.
Neither am I.
I hope that I wish that we would know the details of how things like this come up because there was a thing about Crytek and that lawsuit. We don't know what happened with that, but I wish we could find out somehow. But that's only for my curiosity, not for I'm going to do anything with the information or anything.
That Crytek's lawsuit's all done and over with, and all the legal stuff is already online about it. So, yeah, it was mostly in CIG's favor. They threw out most of Crytek's stuff. At least that's what I remembered. I was following that pretty closely. So.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to wrap up here.
I was going to say one last thing. The only thing that was missing from this was that they could have used, I'm going to say it as this, a light stick.
No.
One of those in there, I would have been like,
I got you, Pop. I got you, Pop. You want to say
you know what I'm saying? I'm
laser
calling it a
sword.
light stick. Yeah, laser
sword.
There you go. That's what I'm calling it. I'm not going to call it its real name. So.
Yeah.
The other hand, though, if they'd have done that, it would have been great in one way because Star Citizen would have been like compared to like two of the biggest franchises in space sci-fi.
Yeah. All right. So up next, we're gonna cover what's coming up in this weekend. So Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. UTC. We have Soul Voices. That's where we cover, or Griffin cover, what's going on in the community. But it's more of a one-on-one conversation. We cover what's going on in Spectrum. What's going on in Reddit, and something from the industry and in general. And that's every Saturday. We have PodSat or Podcast Saturday. If he said Griffin, if he's feeling better, I hope he does feel better. But yeah, so that's over at 3 p.m. Captain Table at 6 p.m. and Relay Station at 9 p.m. Convert those to your local time zone. Right? So yeah, that's a whole day of podcast for Star Citizen. And then on Sunday, we have Sunday 8 p.m. Eastern. That's 2 a.m. UTC. I love this ship. And that's where we're gonna go category by category of our favorite ship, the Soul Team. So that should be a fun show. So not just us, but people in chat can shout out what their favorite ships in different categories are too. Because you already know what a free mind is gonna be. I know.
You gonna shout out New Merchantman again?
I retired from doing that the abandoned merchantman screen, but I'm gonna do the Endeavor screen. So look forward to that one.
When fastcart says he retired, it means he's waiting to pull a Jordan.
Yeah, or Brady,
Yeah.
All right, so that is that. So sorry. Oh yeah. So thank you for joining us. I was joined by Fitspace, Jade, Popspace, Lane Cloud, and Rider Smoke. Thank you for coming and chatting with me. If you want to support Soul Citizen, give them a Soul Bro, Soul Sis, or Soulmate. Click the join button on YouTube. You can also hit like, subscribe, and follow, and hit the notification icon on your platform to get notified. It helps us out for the algorithm and whatnot. You can follow us on social media with Soul Citizen for the S-Hunting everywhere. You can buy merchandise, click the link below to help support it. And I think that's it. So we're gonna raid the Real Chappy TV. So if you haven't been over there yet, make sure you tell them you came from Soul Citizen and send them my love. And with that, peace, love, and soul. Take care, everybody. And